This week on Healthy Living, we take a look at organic food. Are organic products really better for you? An expert tells us more. Then farmers in Ghana step up to improve the certification of organic products. And finally, a young 12-year-old Moroccan inventor is getting international recognition thanks to his mask of the future. That's in this edition of Healthy Living.
Hello and welcome to Healthy Living. I'm Linor Moudou, coming to you from Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire. And today we will talk about organic food. Better quality and healthier products, respect for the planet, animal welfare. These are some of the reasons shared by organic food enthusiasts. According to experts, organic farming excludes the use of chemical fertilizers, insecticides, fungicides, and herbicides whose toxicity is now proven, such as the risk of cancer and neurological disorders. Animals raised organically are also not given antibiotics or hormones. Côte d'Ivoire is no exception to the global trend of organic food. This new market is being developed by a former soldier with a green thumb who has made it his new battle. Allergic to pesticides and insecticides, Amadou Kone has developed his products in a healthy ecosystem and offer them to Ivorian consumers. Let's go to Bouaké in central Côte d'Ivoire to follow this 57-year-old man in his new calling. Story by Yassine Sio and Yuen Gourlé.
For the past 2 months, the heat has been overwhelming in the Bouaké region, nearly 40 degrees in the sun. A few kilometers from the country's second city, Amadou Kone adapts as he can. Here he shades the land and uses the decoctions of trees to grow his fruits and vegetables in a natural way.
In this microclimate, in this ecosystem, we could more adapt to climate change if we adopt these strategies. It is no longer a question of uprooting all these trees before I start to market gardening. When I put moringa, it will be used to make fertilizer. When I put neem leaves, papaya, it will serve me.
To fight the many insects in the area, which he calls his enemies, he equips himself to the maximum. Insect protections, repellent crops like the onions surrounding his field, everything is expertly thought out. He obtained the bio-label in 2019, but the fight never ends.
Maybe we are a little more resilient than the others. In agroecology, it is really difficult emotionally. Sometimes you arrive and you find everything you planted the day before or 72 hours before being de-engineered by insects. The problems are made to be overcome. That's what I keep telling my young people from schools. When you are faced with a problem, you do not give up. You try to get around it, step over it, or remove this problem.
To adapt to everyday life, the country's first organic market gardener is assisted by a dozen quality workers. Moussa Dosso is a graduate of the Ivory Coast Polytechnic.
This is an area that requires a lot of research, knowledge, creating this integration between the farmer and the researcher. Already, with the variation in the climate that we are seeing, we will have to be much more prepared to face it. We must know when we have a good yield and when it goes down. That is all that we do here, which will be specific to the Bouaké region.
Seeing him evolve, you would think that the 57-year-old has spent his life developing his cultures. Yet he has just turned the page completely. 2 years ago, he was a member of the Ivorian army. He was even a member of the rebel army when the country was split in two in the 2000. It was a difficult time.
It is not that I'm ashamed of this period. Every nation, every people often goes through difficult times. But I was military, so I had to be somewhere. Sometimes there are people who tell me, "You lost all that time in the army." I tell them that maybe if I hadn't done the army, I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing today as a market gardener. There is an interaction. The army taught me a lot, discipline and perseverance.
These qualities allow him to feed the population healthily and to pursue his lifelong mantra to save his country.
Are organic foods safer and really better for you? An expert tells us more.
Obviously, it's better for any crop to use less chemicals, less pesticides. Now people are looking to do things naturally, and you have natural insecticides people use and everything, but some still have harmful chemicals. In this case, what you want is organic, real organic, because sometimes you have organic labeling, but when you read all the labels carefully, you see that it's not really organic. It is definitely better for your health because it's better for the environment. That is to say that we have less harmful chemicals entering the body. We have also seen that fertility, in particular for men concerning spermatozoa, has decreased a lot because we no longer use pesticides. And indeed, real organic is better for the health, but also unprocessed. In fact, that's why it has to be truly organic. We see sometimes that there is an abuse of the use of organic labeling. We really have to learn to read all the labels. And organic processed foods can still be organic, but really it's better to have real whole foods. Now, organic is certainly better for your overall health because you don't use chemicals that are harmful. And these foods are supposed to be cultivated with this in mind. But we must also see that they have a cost and that not everyone can afford organic.
In Ghana and West Africa, organic food is growing in popularity as people try to stay healthy during the COVID-19 pandemic. But organic produce is not easily regulated, and some consumers are paying extra for unverified claims. Farmers across the region are creating their own system with support from international bodies to certify organic produce. Stacey Knott reports from Accra.
Until last year, consumers of Ghana's organic produce only had the farmer's word to back up claims of chemical-free food. To guarantee standards, farmers formed what they call a Participatory Guarantee System, or PGS, to monitor and certify each other as organic for buyers.
With PGS, it's a certificate, so it's always easier if you can say that this body, hey, you can call this body, I'm registered with them, they've certified me, so that's why I definitely want the PGS to work.
A growing demand for healthy food during the COVID-19 pandemic is a good chance to involve more farmers, says consultant Abosere Olawumi Benedict.
Many people in Ghana just say, I do organic, and they don't really have the deep understanding of what organic is. So it's been a challenge, but we kind of see a new dimension with COVID-19. So many people really want to be sure now that what they are eating is actually, that has been labeled organic, is organic.
Imported health food shop owner Ama Asafo Ajay says that more often these days customers are asking for local organic products.
People feel more comfortable just immediately looking and seeing that it's labeled organic just gives them that peace of mind.
There are other organic certifications in Ghana, but compared to the participatory guarantee system, they are expensive and aimed at exports.
A lot of farmers shy away from certification, but if it is with the PSG, it's quite cheap and very, very affordable and friendly.
In West Africa, the participatory guarantee system is also used by farmers in Benin, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, Senegal and Togo. The system is backed by the International Federation of Organic Movements from a project funded by the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Stacey Knott for VOA News, Accra.
In Lumumbashi, in Haut-Katanga, DRC, the population of certain areas of the city remains a victim of wastewater. Thousands of people suffer from the pollution of rivers. It is the acidic waste from mineral processing plants and other plastic waste that pollute the water. The population is still waiting for a solution from the authorities. The point in this report by Terence Kimuni and Yeyet Mavenga.
Lubumbashi River in Upper Katanga. The water is murky. It is polluted by acid discharges from surrounding plants. Here in the Kasapa district, on the outskirts of Lubumbashi, residents use the same water for housework, but they complain about its poor quality.
We have a problem with the wastewater of the CDM company. CDM drains its acidic water after the rain, and its water flood the road and even prevent us from moving. When we walk in it, it stings the foot. Our field doesn't produce much anymore because of this acidic water. Let the authority help us.
Mining companies that swarm the province often take advantage of rainy times to drain their wastewater. As a result, rivers are polluted and there's flooding. The acid in these waters also weakens the soil and creates landslides. This situation is denounced by the inhabitants of the affected neighborhoods.
When a CDM drains its acidic water, the neighborhood is invaded with all this acid. Is that normal? This acidic wastewater exposes our children to disease. We need to think about our children.
No one in the mining company wants to comment on this issue. Wastewater poses a permanent danger to residents. The most exposed, women and girls. They are at risk of serious genital infections, as confirmed by Dr. Nadege Kapinga.
Different organs of the body can be affected. It can be toxic to the kidneys, liver, and intestines. For the intestines, it can be a diarrhea or intestinal parasitosis. This water can be a breeding ground for mosquitoes and help maintain our famous malaria. If a woman uses this used water to wash, this water will be toxic to her sexual and urinary organs. We know that women are more likely to get infected than men, so using this water to wash or little girls bathing in this girl can cause infections and can lead to various complications such as infertility.
The cries of distress against the authorities remain misunderstood. Those we tried to reach out to did not want to receive us. Meanwhile, thousands of families continue to live in these dangerous conditions.
Young Moroccan Bilal Hamouti calls his latest invention a mask of the future, taking lots of pride in the invention, which won him international recognition. It is a device designed to prevent the spread of infection through coughing or sneezing. The mask closes off on the mouth and nose when the wearer begins to cough or sneeze. It won the young inventor the first prize in the category Future Engineers in an international robotics competition. Hundreds of people from 21 countries participated in the event that was held remotely this year. It took the 12-year-old just under 2 months to come to do this mask, his latest invention. The Moroccan inventor used his time during lockdown wisely, coming up with one innovation after the other. He also invented glasses for physical distancing, a robot for people with special needs, allowing them to control the television without using their hands, and his robot called Bader Hari, which he considers to be his most important invention so far. For the latest news and coverage on the coronavirus, stay connected to Voice of America at voanews.com. That's our show for today. Until next time, don't forget to wash your hands often, stay well, and strive to make every day a healthy day. All right.